right, welcome to Forecasting with Friends. This is our Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. weather show here on Fox Local. So I want to thank you for joining me. Most of the time, we try to have a friend with us here. I'm here all by myself in the Weather Center, which is why you are my friend for forecasting on Forecasting with Friends today. I think you're really going to like the forecast. Yesterday got really interesting, really busy during the afternoon hours as we actually briefly were placed parts of our area under a tornado watch. But I want to show you what's happening right now, and actually am beginning with a view of our baseball stadium, which is still currently called Minute Maid Park, but only for about 6 more weeks because it is going to, on January the 1st, change its name to Daikin Park. That's what we're going to know it as for the next 15 years, as we've told you about here over the last couple of mornings. So right now, it's feeling pretty terrific. Now, this morning, temperatures did get down into the 50s. We had lots of temperatures in the low 50s, some upper 40s out to our west, but now we're back up to 76 degrees. So we're warming it up quickly with a west wind at 5 and low humidity. That humidity is going to get down to about 25% later this afternoon. So what a change. I mean, just a huge change from yesterday. So the main headline is sunshine is back. The humidity will gradually fall, but it's still going to be warm this afternoon. We'll probably have some 80s across the area, in fact. But beautiful, dry, cooler weather for much of the rest of the week. And actually, the chilliest mornings of the season are on the way for us. And so get ready for that. Cooler across Texas, though, especially out to the west, and generally mild conditions. The front that moved through our area yesterday, sparking thunderstorms, has now moved off toward the east. And it's actually pulling up some tropical moisture from the remnants of Tropical Storm Sarah, sort of playing a role in some of the heavy rain they're seeing there around Mobile and Pensacola, and even Atlanta getting some rain right now from the system. Right now at Bush Airport, 74 degrees, Hobby 76. They're in the middle 60s in Austin, low 60s in Dallas, and Amarillo is at 45. And we are going to tap into some of that chilly air. It'll arrive in the form of a front tomorrow morning. What about rain? Now, this is the outlook for the next 7 days, and it just looks like it is going to be dry across our entire region. So luckily we got that splash of rain yesterday, so we're not really dealing with any sort of a serious drought, but we are going to be experiencing very dry conditions here beginning today and extending all the way through the weekend and early next week. Right now it is 70 in Huntsville. Good late morning to you guys. About 71 in Brenham, and that's a pretty dramatic warm-up because you were down to 47 degrees early this morning, and now that latest temperature just updated, I should say, to 72 in Brenham. Here is our futurecast with our exclusive Fox model showing nasty conditions well off to our east. That dashed line that you see there across Texas represents a secondary push of some cooler, drier air that's going to be coming in. So that's going to bring in a north breeze. You will feel it tomorrow morning. It's going to start to get cooler. And our afternoon high temperature tomorrow is going to be about a dozen degrees cooler than what we're going to have today. And then high pressure overhead is going to ensure that we have some pretty brisk mornings. So here's a look at hour by hour forecasts taking us into this evening for Atascocita. We'll make it up to around 80 degrees by the early afternoon, and then temperatures will tumble after sunset down into the 50s. And here's another look, Jersey Village. So we'll reach our max temperatures around 2 or 3 this afternoon, 80, maybe as warm as 82, we'll see. And then dropping back down to the upper 50s and low 60s by this evening. All right. So we're talking about it getting cool here, okay? We'll probably have some low 40s later on this week, but it is nothing like this. It's about to get very, very cold, or it's been very cold up in Canada, and that's where we have these interesting folks. This is up here in northwest Canada, where they have a competition once the temperature falls below 4 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know why that's the cutoff, but that's just the way they do it. And you can turn your hair into icy works of art. Boy, I wish I had hair like that. This is in Yukon Territory in Canada. It is a place called Eclipse Nordic Hot Springs, and there are 6 categories. These categories are funny. The best male, best female, the best group, the most creative, the people's choice, the people's champion, and then, of course, you have best facial hair. The winner of each category gets $2,000. And I'm going to assume that's 2,000 Canadian dollars, which is a little bit less than 2,000 American dollars. But that's fun stuff. All right, staying on the topic of ice. This is some incredible video out of Iceland. This is, I mean, it almost looks like it's not real, but this is lava, which is flowing over a snowy landscape. In fact, a lot of people are questioning, just like I did, oh, come on, this has got to be AI, right? Well, the photographer says that the lack of steam from the snow melt is due to the Leidenfrost effect. That's also, by the way, the same effect if you have like a screaming hot pan and you drop a water drop onto it. It doesn't evaporate right away. It doesn't boil. It kind of will float around on that layer of steam under it. Well, when these water droplets vaporize instantly, when that hot lava touches them, it makes it look otherworldly, like what we're seeing here. Very cool stuff. All right, so we've seen this around here, right? When we get extremely dry for a very long amount of time, it tends to promote wildfires. In fact, we had that before our latest spell of all of the wet weather that we had recently. Several blazes continue to burn up in the northeastern United States, even not too far away from New York City. And a lot of people up there are wondering, where is all the rain? Well, Fox's Sean Langell tries to answer that question and gives us a look.
In order to break a worsening dry spell that's amplifying fire risks, much of the Northeast is in desperate need of one key ingredient: rain.
I've never seen it this low.
The situation is growing dire, especially in portions of New York and New Jersey. New York City and 10 other counties in the Empire State declared drought warnings Monday.
It's hard to believe that we'll be talking about brush fires and droughts in New York City. But the reality is that this past October and November saw the second longest rainless streak in city records.
Bone-dry forests also recently triggered New Jersey's governor to declare a drought warning statewide. Residents in impacted regions are being asked to do what they can to conserve water. This comes as a new blaze erupted Monday in Hainesport, New Jersey, not too far from Philadelphia. The flames rising near several structures, prompting crews to quickly set up containment lines to try and save them. Meanwhile, containment of the Jennings Creek wildfire is also being bolstered along the New York-New Jersey border, but the continued lack of water is still keeping many on edge.
Normally, we'd have from September until now about 10 inches of rain, and we've only received about 2.5 inches of rain.
It's not just low reservoirs causing concern. Environmental protection officials say the entire New York City water system is in dire need of replenishment.
The New York City system is at 63% capacity right now. Normally it would be about 79% capacity.
While some rain is expected in portions of the Northeast later this week, whether the weather brings any relief is yet to be seen. Sean Langell, Fox News.
President Joe Biden is calling for more emergency aid. Now, he says about $100 billion is needed to help with recovery efforts from Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton in the southeastern United States. Part of the aid would go to FEMA to assist with debris removal, repairing infrastructure there. North Carolina, Florida, obviously very hard hit, and providing financial aid to survivors. President Biden says the emergency aid fund will reach a shortfall beginning next year if Congress does not approve additional funding. So we shall see what gets done. All right, moving on now. Speaking of disaster preparedness, a first aid kit is always a good thing to have for emergencies. And on today's JD's Hurricane Gear Test, he takes a look at some of the supplies to include in your kits.
I always tell people, make sure you have more than just Band-Aids in your first aid kit, but you are going to need a few of those as well. It's important to check and see what kind of wound care that you have available. And on today's Hurricane Gear Test, I want to show you a waterproof dressing that is made by a company here in Houston. The Dry Sea Bandage is not just waterproof, it will also indicate if it has been compromised from exterior moisture. Now, I think these were originally designed for showering after a medical procedure, but they also work well for those who like to be active around water activities. This is a clear bandage and it has an interior pad that covers your wound, and then a perimeter band will change color if water starts to leak in from the outside. Now, that change in color will alert you before contaminants can reach the wound site. That middle pad will also change color from wound saturation, helping you to know that it's time to change the bandage. Okay, let me see if I can show you how this works. I'm going to try and do a bad job of applying this so that we have a leak on purpose. And you can see here now that I've get this off that it's blue on the inside, and you've got a clear bandage. And so normally you would apply this much better than what I'm doing here. And then this little part comes off. And so again, this is just kind of to show you how we can see the color change. You've got white right now everywhere, and if I were to take a little bit of water and pour in here, we're going to see that this starts to turn different colors. You see how we get the blue showing up? Now, obviously, this is a lot of a leakage, but normally you would, after wear and tear, you might have just a little bit of a leak, and that outside perimeter would begin to show by turning blue. But again, a reminder that this is a waterproof bandage, so if you were to apply it correctly, you would not have any kind of a leak that's this much. My demonstration was with a bandage that's too large for my hand. They do come in several different sizes, and they can be worn up to 4 days with no liquid indication. I give Dry Sea waterproof bandages a Cat 3 on my Hurricane Kit priority scale. Not everyone is going to need waterproof dressings in their Hurricane Kits. On their website, you'll find a box of 4x4 pads for $22. What specific item do you include in your first aid kits? Tell me on my YouTube channel. Just search for meteorologist John Dawson.
All right, now coming up after the break, we're going to talk about how my daughter and I made these treats that are for the furriest members of your family for the holidays. That'll be coming up next. Welcome back to the Iskabitz Family Kitchen here, where we're making something very, very different for this year's family feast. We are making
pumpkin spice dog biscuits.
So we're going to start out with, Gia, 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. Then this is what really makes it pumpkin spice, pumpkin. Now, it's very, very important, G, that this is pumpkin and not pumpkin pie filling. You do not.
Delicious. Oh, Pippin, wait till you get a taste of this.
Now, we have to add an egg. You want to do that or you want me to do that?
Me.
Okay, here we go. 2 tablespoons of honey. 1, 2, all right, good. A dash of cinnamon. We're also going to put a little dash of ginger. Ginger is good for their digestion. Finally, we need something with a little bit more moisture and to kind of hold it together, and they recommend peanut butter. Oh, y'all are going to love this, dogs. Now the fun part, we got to mix this together.
Wait, no, because I'm going to eat that. Guess not.
Yeah. See, this is fun. This would be really fun for kids. Okay. Good enough. Oh, look at that. It came out. Bake. We have the oven heated to 350 degrees. So like traditional baking. If you didn't know that these were dog treats, it'd be like a really appetizing, like peanut butter pumpkin cookie. We're going to stick it in the oven here for 20 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so the biscuits are out of the oven. They ended up taking about 18 minutes at 350 degrees. How do you think they turned out?
I think they turned out amazing and they look delicious.
All right, Goosey, shaky. Shaky. No, shake. Good boy. Here. Bone.
Nom, nom, nom.
Oh, he likes it.
Give it another one.
Okay, sit.
I'm going to prove to you that these dog bones are fit for humans to eat. If you put sugar in this, it would taste like a really good pumpkin peanut butter cookie. But all right, well, just as a reminder, you can find all of our Family Feast packages on Fox Local right here, including Chelsea Edwards' sweet potato cobbler, Allison's stuffed acorn squash. You could also check out our Family Feast flashbacks with recipes from the days of yore. Of course, Fox Local. You need to tell your family and friends that it's free to download. Now available on your smart devices too. If you are watching it on your TV, you can have it on your phone as well. All right, so staying on the holiday theme, the holiday spirit is moving into the city with plans for the mayor's holiday spectacular now in place. It's also taking over Post Houston, which is a really cool place if you haven't been there. Fox 26's Coco Dominguez takes us inside the winter
For the third year in a
Wonderlawn.
row, Post in downtown Houston is bringing thousands of lights to their 5-acre rooftop overlooking the city skyline. Winter Wonderlawn is back. Is it too early to say happy holidays?
No, never.
Not for me.
I'd heard about this place for a while, so I wanted to come out, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity.
We came to come get dinner, and then we're just gonna hang out around here, enjoy the lights. You know, it's downtown during Christmas time, during the holidays, so it's a perfect place to take pictures and see the city.
How gorgeous is this staircase? I mean, and just looking around, this is a beautiful entryway that you walk into. All of those gorgeous trees all the way around definitely gets you in the spirit before you even step on the lawn.
We've been walking around. I feel like every time we look, there's like something else to look at, and then we've been just catching up. Obviously, we're all busy with our adult lives, so it's fun to like wind down and look at the lights, enjoy this city in the background is cool.
Happy holidays!
Oh my goodness, y'all are so cute. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
You are. Look at you just going around with a lollipop living life. Mom, you brought them on out here. What do you think?
We're so excited. We really love this atmosphere. We love the festivities. We love the warm weather, the lights. We love the food and the culture. So we're having a great time.
It's so great, right? It's peaceful. Have you been enjoying the lights?
We're gonna go to the real, then I gotta see Christmas.
You know what I'm saying? Christmas!
I can't wait to spend time with my family.
Oh, you're so cute, but we're not skipping Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not skipping Thanksgiving. We're just taking a little time to get into the moment.
Yes, exactly. You said it
Christmas,
correct.
then Thanksgiving, then Christmas.
Yeah.
You know?
I definitely like that order, guys. You got to come on here. $7 admission Monday through Thursday for adults. For the weekend, it is $10, and kids 5 and under are free. Keep in mind, after Thanksgiving, the prices will go up, so might as well come get in the spirit and check out Houston skyline. I'm Coco Dominguez reporting from Post in downtown Houston. It's Fox 26 News.
Sounds like a good deal to me. All right, well, we are in the midst of some changes to our weather pattern here. You could probably tell as you step outside right now, but what lies ahead for the rest of the week? What about the weekend plans? And what about a really early, far outlook at Thanksgiving coming up next Thursday? We'll talk about that coming up next. All right, so I was just taking a pretty far look ahead at Thanksgiving, which you know is still, almost a week and a half away. We're talking about like day 10 of our forecast as far as we can see. And right now, the newest information is that it looks like we're going to have a front coming in around Thanksgiving time. It may be that it holds off until a little bit after Thanksgiving, but I would count on that weekend being chilly. Just plan on chilly weather for especially that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Different out there right now, of course, as we warm it on up, and I have the winds plotted here as well, and you see that there's a west wind or a southwest wind, and that's actually drying things up very nicely. 74 to 76 in Houston right now, and a mild 77 for Galveston Island. Let's talk about some of the changes that are on the way for us. Low temperatures tonight across the state of Texas. Kind of chilly depending on where you are. I mean, out there around El Paso, 38 degrees, Amarillo down to 29. But a little closer to our area. State Capitol down to about 48 tonight, and here in H-Town about 53, give or take. The temperature is always going to vary a few degrees from place to place. So mostly a lot of low 50s, maybe some middle 50s in town tonight. And then tomorrow night, so we're talking about Wednesday night into Thursday morning, that should be the chilliest morning. So down to about 43 on Thursday morning, maybe some 30s as you head out to places like Brenham and Navasota and Huntsville and maybe even Sealy in those spots. Watch out for temperatures that may dip into the upper 30s. We don't expect a freeze or anything like that. Weather where you live right now, it is 73 in Dayton, 76 for Baytown, 77 for Galveston. That little bit of green that's showing up there in Chambers County, it's not rain, but I might zoom in and take a closer look at that. Sometimes that's an indication of a brush fire. So I will look into that. Right now, high pressure is moving in, and we have temperatures that are in the 50s and 60s around the state of Texas. I did want to show you that the Rockies are getting some of the coolest air across the country right now, with Denver checking in at 37 degrees. Billings, Montana is freezing. Boise, Idaho is freezing right now at 32. Reno, Nevada is at 27. And even Las Vegas is 49 chilly degrees. So here's what's going on. For the rest of the day today, abundant sunshine and really nice weather on a light west wind. Now the high temperature is near 80. We could spike up to 81, 82. Can't rule that out, but it's going to come along with some very, very dry air. Clear and cooler overnight, and then we're going to have this system pass through tomorrow. The only way you're really going to notice it is in the form of a little bit of a stronger breeze coming in for tomorrow. So instead of having that sort of milder west breeze like we have today, we're going to have a little bit of a stiffer north breeze, breezy and very dry, and that'll keep high temperatures tomorrow probably closer to 70 instead of today's high temperature, which will be closer to 80. So today 80 degrees, very dry by the way as well, and that west wind at about 5 miles per hour is going to keep conditions a little bit on the dry side and warm side as well. And then coming up for Wednesday, we become breezy as things dry out just a little bit, and we turn into a bit of a cooler regime, a little bit of a cooler pattern. So for the rest of the week, actually, we're looking for those low temperatures to get down into the 40s. Thursday morning, 43. Friday morning, also in the middle 40s. And then heading into Saturday and Sunday, we will stay cool as well. Now, I did switch over here real quick to the radar. I wanted to just investigate what's happening over here just real quick, because this is the first time I saw it today that I noticed this was happening, and it's probably nothing. Sometimes, like I said, this is a part of the area that will sometimes have like a little brush fire going or something, and I caught that and I thought, well, maybe that is happening, and it certainly might be like a prescribed burn or something, but it doesn't look as impressive when I zoom in on it there. But it definitely looks like there might be something happening over there. So anyway, I'll keep an eye on it. It's obviously nothing to be concerned about, but you can sometimes have prescribed burns. Of course, that area did have a lot of rain yesterday. As far as what's happening across the rest of the globe, the one thing I did want to show you here real quick, I'm going to switch this over because you remember at the end of last week, we had a tropical system by the name of Sarah. Now, Sarah moved in across Central America and crossed the Yucatan, and now it looks like what is left of Sarah is sort of combining with a cold front and moving in like this. So a lot of the moisture that you're seeing here is tied in loosely with what we're seeing with a tropical storm Sarah and mixing in with the front that moved through our area. So the front that you're seeing here on this map, let's see right here, is sort of working with some of the moisture that we have left over from that tropical system. So that's one of the reasons why conditions are just a little bit stormier over there in Florida and in Alabama and Georgia. So that's kind of interesting how these things will work. So the bottom line is beautiful weather the rest of the week, lots of sunshine, a couple of chilly mornings coming up for Thursday morning and Friday morning and maybe Saturday morning as well. Thanks for joining us here for Forecasting with Friends. Stick around. Delon and I will be back for the news at noon.